Alright, so I don't know where I'm going with this video, but long story short, I found a LGA 1156 Core i5 3.2 GHz dual core processor, and I want to do something with it. So today, I am going to look for parts to do a build and then game on it. I did a little pre-gaming beforehand, no pun intended, but I don't know what I'm going to be getting for a motherboard. So this is what this video is going to be about. I'm doing this on the fly. Don't like it. Too bad. Okay, so not have a lot of options here. At least a lot of good ones. It's all like Dell Optiplex small form factors, because that's what I actually pulled this thing from, was a small form factor compact, an HP compact, and you know what it is. Someone's coming from California. Never heard of that brand. Doesn't look like a solid motherboard either. No I/O shield. That's one thing you gotta look out for, is see if it comes with the I/O shield. Okay, see, this one says it. It's got dual RJ45. Okay. That's not a bad looking board though. How much? $26, $18.99? They come out to like 40 some dollars. Coming from South Korea. That's a good idea. Definitely. Okay, never mind. I don't want that. So this one's $70. That's not a bad looking board though. It's really not. Looking to keep with the micro ATX motherboard though, you know what I'm saying? Just make this easy. That's really a lot. For $70 for an 1156, that's really a lot. I could literally get an 1151 for $49.99 and go from there. Yeah, that comes with the cooler. 2.4 Xeon. No, thank you. I do not have good history with Xeons. ECS. Okay, I've never heard of that brand, but what do they got going on with the orange scheme here? Like, that's different. A green motherboard. I'm so used to like black and red, or like, y'all see that winky face? 30-day return or your money back. That's totally not a scam. Okay, dude. On to the next one. Man, I am not striking any luck with motherboards that are for a half-decent price. DQ57TM socket, LG 1156 DDR3, dual-core CPU. Comes with the CPU. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick with the motherboard that I got, and I need a CPU cooler. Let's see what we can find. Yeah, this is gonna be lit, and it's literally $11.67. I can't wait to see how fast that's gonna burn out. From Whippany, United States. 3-pin connector. Oh yeah, dude. I really don't want to risk 1167. I really don't. That's gotta be so bad. What's the rating on this? 3.5 stars. I'm not going with that one. I'm sorry. As lit as that is, no thank you. I think I'm just gonna go with the stock one and just save like $3 and go from there. Do I got one with fast and free shipping? Do I? Oh yeah, here's fast and free for $10.74. Add to cart? No thank you. Okay, so we're looking at $51.69. Hoorah. Okay, now we need us a microwave. Let's look for a really just basic one here. I don't need USB 3.0. Looks like a pretty cool one. It's got all their drives and stuff. Fast and free, coming from California. Okay, we'll keep our eye on that one. Get one with tempered glass. Oh yeah, man, I'm all for that. Tempered glass to show off a nice LGA 1156 motherboard with absolutely no hope. All I need is just pretty bare bones is all I need. Okay, yeah, this is good. Standard shipping. Nah, let's see what else I can find. You know what? This might be good. This might be all right. This one here with that literally is a compact Presario knockoff. I've worked with way too many compacts that are just complete. This is just an utter knockoff. But I think I might get it. Okay, we're gonna add that to our cart. Okay, so I can't believe I have almost forgotten the most important thing about gaming is the graphics card. Okay, so let's see what we can find for a PCI X16 graphics card. I'm gonna go with a cheap one, or something that's on the age barrier right here. Got it. Boom, 256 megs. Okay, I literally can't do that because I don't have a monitor that supports whatever the hell that is. And S-Video. Okay, so joke's on me. We're not doing that one. We should do the 6450 again. Yeah, we're gonna do, no, we're not, oh, we are not doing that for $31. No. Okay, I literally, when I bought mine the other time, it was literally like $10. I've never dealt with this one before, and it looks like it has DisplayPort and DVI, which would work. I'm from California, so we're gonna add that to my cart. Okay, I'm not done quite yet. I want to see what else I can find. That's a 3450. Okay, I am just gonna go with what I have in my cart and just go with that. So we got a 6450 1GB DDR3, like I tried to do in the other video, but since Windows 7 is gonna go on this machine, that's what's gonna have to happen. I hope I'm gonna put Windows 7 on it. How in the blue hell did I come out? Hold up, $92.68. Okay, that's not bad for a gaming machine. That's not bad. Okay, let's check out, boys and girls.
3 days later.
So first I'm going to unbox the case, because lifting it up, it felt like I just got a bunch of ass parts in the box and it was just rattling around, but thankfully everything was okay. Ooh, yeah! Here is the front panel audio, power button, and USB. Here is the front with the dual CD drives and card readers. On the side here you have the eject buttons for the CD drives, and as you can see, the front panel literally just broke right there, so I'm moving on to the motherboard. For God's sakes, there was enough glue to hold a house together. And lucky me, I got a bunch of packing peanuts all over my workstation. So, the seller took his time in packaging the motherboard with bubble wrap and anti-static bag. I'm very, very happy to see that, because I know who I bought it from took care in their packages. Makes me have more faith in the product working all on its own. As you can see here, here is the lovely motherboard. Here is the I/O. I was glad to see the I/O shield didn't have any bends or dents in it, and that also went for the CPU slot. It didn't have any bent pins in it, and so hopefully my CPU that I have is compatible, so that's a good sign. Here's the Core i5 that I'm talking about. Time to put it in the motherboard and put it in the case, and then it's Windows installation time. I'm only installing 4GB of DDR3 RAM. It's actually all of the DDR3 RAM that I have, surprisingly. So I'm just going to go from there, because I don't plan to make this a really beefy machine. That's why I kept it plain and simple. But I might end up adding more to the future, because this board does support 16 gigs max. Alrighty, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to put this motherboard in the case. You guys watch, I'll chime in every time I had a problem, because good God, is it a pain in the ever-living ass to build in a cheap case from eBay. Boy, I got what I paid for, I'll tell you that. So here's the first problem. I could barely get the other back panel off, and I did that all for nothing, because in the pictures it looked like you had some cable management option, but nope, not at all. I'm just going to get the front panel connectors out of the way so I can actually have room to install the motherboard, because as you can see, there's not a lot of room in that case for anything. So before anybody sits there and thinks, wow, this guy cannot screw in a simple screw, I was dumb enough to use the screws that the case came with, even though blatantly knowing that they never, ever work no matter what case you get. For God's sakes, just use the screws you know that work universally. You'll save a lot of time and not look as stupid as I did. So here's what I was talking about with the whole cable management thing. That was literally the only option to hide wires. And with those wires, I could not fit in the DVD drive without stressfully pulling on those wires, which was crazy because I thought they were gonna rip, but I eventually got them to work, and the installation of the DVD drive went okay, but I had to readjust in order for the buttons on the side to work. I'm so used to setting them all the way back so it's flush with the case, but with this one you had to move it up a little in order for the actual button mechanism work to eject the CD. One thing I actually really liked about this case was when installing the power supply. I actually installed it upside down the first time, and I was like, why in the blue fuck is it not lining up? Is this really a wrong case? Is it a wrong power supply? Is it a different layout? Because everything looked correct. But after I flipped it over and realized I was just going full retard, it fit in just fine, and it was really snug, and it was all good. Alrighty, so the build is done for now. The fan that I ended up ordering took a lot longer than the other parts. Even though it said it was fast and free shipping, I still had to wait for it another 2 or 3 days, I don't remember, but good thing I had work to keep me busy. So it's time to close this case up, set it up, and be done for now, and come back when the fan arrives. One thing I did notice on the back of the power supply, there was a bit of yellowing, but thankfully a wire brush was able to take care of all of that and make it actually look halfway decent, or look like the rest of the case. Alrighty, so now that the back of the case actually looks like it's matching, it's time to wait for the fan.
Eventually.
Okay, so the fan arrived, and I actually thought it was the wrong socket fan, and that's why I did it off camera, but it ended up fitting just fine and working. So now it's time to put the computer back together and give it its first boot. Alrighty, let's hit the power button and see what we get. Yeah, good sign. Let's get into the BIOS. Alright, everything looks to be detecting. The RAM, the i5, my SATA devices. I tinker with the boot settings here to make sure everything's all good so I can boot up into Windows installation. So let's go ahead and do that. Insert the flash drive and reboot. I know you guys have probably seen this once or a million times. I'm going to cut a lot of this out to save you guys a lot of this stuff if you already know what's going to happen. So as you can see right here, I got to change my hard drive format from GPT to MBR for Windows to recognize it because my previous installation was on a GPT machine, so that is what I'm currently doing right now. I was originally going to do the long method of formatting it into MBR, but then I remember there's the convert command that makes it incredibly a lot easier. So I remembered that and then just gave it a reboot, and then it worked successfully. I ended up making a new partition just for the system reserve, just to make sure everything goes okay in case the system needs anything, and everything went okay, and now it was installation time. Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, find out who gives a shit about Cortana! Update! Apparently nobody gives a shit, so fuck her! Alrighty, we are on the desktop now, and it actually, for having no graphics driver installed, everything else pre-installed, it was still a pretty snappy machine being on its first run. Everything was detecting the RAM, the i5, everything was where it needed to be. The only thing that it needed, after checking the device manager, was that it just needed the graphics card drivers. And it was off to AMD to find the correct ones, because in my last video I could not find them to save my life. And suddenly, like 2 days later, AMD released an update that was compatible with that 6450 and Windows 10. So, I was actually off to the races with this card, and I'm actually going to be able to game with it like I wanted to in the first place. Alrighty, the graphics card drivers were successfully installed, and after a reboot, for some reason it decided to reset my time and date, so I'm going to go ahead and reset that now. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a separate video doing the benchmarking and make this a two-part series, because this video is almost going on 18 minutes. So, with that being said, I consider this $100 eBay build officially built. I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of this video. Part 2 will be up soon. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Feel free to leave a comment, and we will catch you in the next video. Peace out.